Three. Welcome back. If you have seen the two latest episodes of this little new thing we have done here, I don't know what we're going to call it. Like the creepster, the creepsters reading creeps.
I don't know. That sounds like it's some dude standing outside.
Perfect. Well, we are back, and now we are halfway done with this little series that is very short. And we have reached maps.
Yeah, I think I heard a song back in the 2000s by that name. Kind of weird.
Maps.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you wanna start us off? Yep, you just need to eat.
I think I started the last one chewing on one of these as well. Hey, we're still setting the pattern here, aren't we?
Yep.
I mean, can you blame me though? I'm
No,
a stoner.
I can't
gotta
blame
have
you.
the munchies.
Yep.
Anyways, there was a comment in this last post that made me remember an event from my childhood that I always took. I love how he refers to these like people are responding to these posts.
Well, they are. There's comments and stuff.
Oh, he actually like using
Oh, yeah.
the comments.
He's
as
actually
prompts
using
for
the comments as
continuing
prompts. Yes.
That's actually kind of cool.
That's actually very cool. That's like an interactive ARG.
Yeah, or like one of those old choose your own adventure books. Like,
Yeah.
like that's kind of a. So, if anything, I give this guy props for his writing exercise that he has managed to effectively get out into the world and make a name for himself with.
Yeah, actually.
And no, as all the shit that I talk, props to the guy. So, anyone watching this, remember, I'm just cracking jokes. I'm not actually being a dick to the guy.
Yeah, exactly. We're not pissing him off for real. We're just having fun. Well,
anyways, I know now that it is. It's funny how memories work. The details might all be present in your mind, but scattered and disarrayed. And then a single thought can stitch them back together almost instantly. I mean, anyone who's had a memory dredge up on its own, I can relate to that one.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, totally. That's how memories works. You need to clean out for new memories.
I never thought of these events as much because I was focused on the wrong detail. I went back to my mom's house and went through my old childhood schoolwork looking for something that I think is important. I couldn't find it, but I'll keep looking. Again, sorry for the length.
Yep. You're not apologized.
Never apologize for your length. Unless you're a little on the short side.
Yep.
Well, no, don't even apologize for that. Own it.
Own it, boy!
You knew what you were signing up for when you wanted to record with a stone.
Oh yeah, and I completely love it. That's why you fit for this.
Most old cities and the neighborhoods in them weren't planned with the thought that the population would begin to grow exponentially. Anyone who has played Tropico can definitely attest to that. And it would have to be accommodated. The layout of the roads is originally in response to geographical restrictions and the necessity of connecting points of position strategically along the existing skeleton. And eventually the paths carved into the earth are immortalized in asphalt, leaving room for only minor modifications, additions, and alterations, but never a dramatic change. I actually really like that description.
Huh. This is very greatly detailed. Wow.
Yeah, no, that was. I like how he put that one together.
Yeah. Oh wait, I can see over here the ditch. Oh, it's back.
You see how in every story he gets a little bit better.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I also think it's because it went from being a standalone story that it didn't really put much thought into to involving it and evolving it. Like Boxes for an example. Boxes was crazily good because I liked the more lines and more character development. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was fun to play Josh's voice, and it was fun to watch you play Josh's voice.
I love that unwantedly made Josh into a crackhead. Like, oh, I love him.
You played him a completely like. I was legitimately going for an immature teenage kid. You sound like you're going for a crackhead off the bridge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some good stuff.
My childhood neighborhood.
Yeah, let the stoner clear his lungs. Cough is coming.
Don't die on me.
Neighborhood. Ah, well, this is how you know it's good. You don't cough, you don't get off, brother. Yeah. My childhood neighborhood must have been old then, if straight lines move as the crow flies. That is an interesting. He goes from a really well put together one to an odd series of phrases.
Yeah.
Then my neighborhood must have been built based on the travels of a snake. If straight lines moves as the crow flies, then my neighborhood must have been built based on the travels of a... Okay, yeah, no.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can see the poetry he's going for.
Yeah, me too.
The first house built must have been placed around the lake, and gradually the inhabitable area increased as new extensions were built off the original path. Pardon me. But these new extensions all ended abruptly at one point or another. There was only one entrance exit for the entire neighborhood. That sounds like horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible planning, yeah.
Even in badly planned places, you can at least think, oh yeah, no, we might need more than one entrance.
Yeah.
Many of these extensions were limited by a tributary, which both fed and drank from the lake and passed right by what I came to call, and have called in these stories,
The ditch.
Wait, I was always thinking it was a dried out ditch, so now it's actually a flooded one? Like,
Yeah, I guess it was. I don't know. Or maybe it was a flooded old ditch that was. I don't know.
Maybe it goes through dry times. I don't know.
Yeah.
I apparently had a completely different image in my head, and this is closer to Pennywise's domain than I was originally.
Oh yeah! Soon a red balloon pops out of the
Many of
ditch.
the original homes had enormous yards. But some of those original plots had been divided, leaving properties with smaller and smaller boundaries. Yeah, no, I can see that in some of my old neighborhoods. An aerial view of my neighborhood would give one the impression that an enormous squid once died in the woods, and some adventuring entrepreneur found the corpse and paved the roads over its tentacles, only to withdraw his involvement and leave.
Leave time.
Leave time, greed, and desperation to divide up the land among prospective homeowners. Like an embarrassing attempt at a golden ratio. Somebody went through a little bit of a hatred for capitalism and expansion.
Well.
Yes, well, discuss. Go ahead, speak.
I don't know what to say. I think this is well written. This is the best intro they have had.
Yeah, no, like I said, he's been getting better every story, and like you said, he's probably getting more invested, but also he spent hours writing some of these, so I've spent enough time in Minecraft where I'll build one thing, and then I'll go and build it again and see the improvement from one to the other.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, no, this has been an interesting journey. From my porch you can see the old houses that surrounded the lake.
What?
The house of Mrs. Maggie was my favorite. She was, as best as I can remember, around 80 years old. But despite that, she was one of the friendliest people I have ever met. A friendly old person. That's how you know this is an old story. All the friendly old people died off. She had a head of loose set white curls and always wore light dresses with floral patterns. She would talk to me and Josh from her back porch when we were swimming in the lake, and she would always invite us in for snacks. She said that she was lonely because her husband Tom was always away on business. But Josh and I would always decline her invitation because, as nice as Mrs. Maggie was, there was still something a bit odd about her. Yeah, no, stranger danger. Right?
Stranger danger.
You wave, you smile, you never approach.
Exactly. But I guess they're neighbors. Not that big of a deal.
That's fair, but I don't really. That's how I do my neighbors. I wave, I smile, and I just go inside. But maybe that just comes from being in a neighborhood full of crackheads.
Yeah, probably. Well.
Miss Maggie, like many of the older homeowners, had a sprinkler system that was.
No, wait. Every now and then.
Every now and then, we would swim away, and she would say,
Chris and John! Never. Chris and John, you are welcome here anytime.
Bad. And we could hear her still yelling that when we were walking back to my home.
Okay.
So she's slightly touched because I'm pretty sure this is Josh and an unnamed narrator.
Oh yeah. Alzheimer's. I believe she had Alzheimer's.
Miss Maggie, like many of the other... Miss Maggie, like many of the other old homeowners, had a sprinkler system that was on a timer. But at some point over the years, her timer must have broken because the sprinklers would come on at various points during the day, and often even at night all year. Well, it never got cold enough to snow very much. Several times each winter, I would go outside in the morning and see Mrs. Maggie's yard transform into a surreal Arctic paradise by the frozen water. That's also a horrible hazard. Even every other yard stood sterilized and dry by the biting frost of the winter's cold. But right there in the middle of the bleak reminder of the savagery of the season, was an oasis of beautiful ice hanging like stalactites from every branch of every tree and every leaf of every bush. As the sun rose, it reflected off of each piece of ice splintered. As the sun rose, it reflected off, and each piece of ice splintered the sun into a rainbow that would only be viewed briefly before it blinded you. Even as a child, I was struck by how beautiful it was, and often Josh and I would go over there and walk on the iced grass and have sword fights with the icicles. I once asked my mom why she left it on like that. My mom seemed to search for an explanation before she said,
Oh shit, this is long line. Well, sweetie.
Enjoy!
Well, sweetie, Mrs. Maggie is sick a lot. And sometimes, when she gets really sick, she often gets confused. That's why she that's why she messes up yours and Josh's name sometimes. She doesn't mean to, but sometimes she can't just remember. She lives in that big old house just by herself, and it's okay if you talk to her when you swim in the lake. But when she invites you, when she invites you in, you should keep saying no. Be polite. Her feelings won't get hurt, but she'll get less lonely when her husband comes home, though, right? How long till he? How long will he be away on business? It seems like it's been always.
He's never coming back. He's already dead. He's buried under the porch.
Oh yeah. My mom.
But she seems to. My mom seemed to struggle, and I could see that she had become very upset. Finally, she answered,
Honey, Tom not coming to get home. Tom's in heaven. Oh, he is dead. He died years and years ago, but Mrs. Maggie doesn't remember. She gets confused and forgets, but Tom's not ever coming home. If someone moves back in with her, she might even think it was Tom. But he's gone, sweetie. Damn.
I mean, at least he wasn't buried under the porch. At least I wasn't that accurate.
Yep, at least he isn't dead under the porch. That will be Mrs. Maggie.
I want to be close. I don't want to be a bullseye. I want to be next to the bullseye. I want people to look at me and like, hey.
Hey.
I don't want to ruin it. I want to be like, hey. I would have only been about 5 or 6 when she told me that. And while I didn't understand it completely, I was still profoundly sad for Maggie. Or Mrs. Maggie.
I know you.
I knew that Miss Maggie had Alzheimer's. She and her husband Tom had two sons, Chris and John. The two had worked out payment plans with utilities companies and paid for Mrs. Maggie's water and electricity, but they would never visit her. Ugh. I
Oh.
don't know if something happened between them, or if it was the illness, or if they just lived too far away. But they never came around. I have no idea what they looked like, but there were times when Mrs. Maggie must have thought Josh and I looked like they did when they were children. I mean, at some point, all kids kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Or maybe she was or maybe she saw what some part of her mind so desperately wanted her to see, ignoring the images transmitted down her optic nerve, and just for a little while showing her what used to be. I realize only now how lonely she must have been.
Wait, this is so sad.
Yeah, an oddly analytical choice of using the optic nerve descriptor. Yeah, no, this guy. I will say this: his style is all over the place. Like one minute he's very poetic, the next he's kind of analytical and scientific, and then he bounces back to analgesious and analytical. Like this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
I'd imagine I'd imagine he got a lot better. Like I would love to see like his more contemporary works. I believe I'm using that word correctly. He's making me want to use my bigger vocabulary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't.
I think I remember him writing some more books. But I don't remember what they were. Anyways.
I've only got the one, so he's got books plural. So.
During the summer.
After kindergarten, before the events of balloons, Josh and
Oh wait, so okay. Now we know the timeline. This is before balloons, so this is before the stalker and everything.
Or the stalker is still somehow interwoven through all of this.
That doesn't make sense. It feels more. It will make more sense if balloons is the first time the stalker like find them. Imagine like we say the stalker lives in the woods outside his house somewhere, and a balloon suddenly lands on his head, and it's a picture inside of a kid, and he likes, oh, this kid is nice. He goes to the school and like follow the kid.
Maybe, or he was already on the radar before balloons by playing in the wood between the houses, like he's coming up here, and he went so far as to single out that balloon.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways,
I'm trying to make wild conspiracy theories so that I am wrong whenever these things come up, because I'm tired of being right. I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna go wild with it, and if I'm still accurate, it's just son of a bitch. During the summer after kindergarten, before the events of balloons, Josh and I had taken to exploring the woods near my house, as well as the tributary of lakes. Tributary of the lake. We knew that the woods between our houses were connected, and we thought it would be neat if the lake near my house was somehow connected to the creek around his. So we resolved to find out. So
we were going to make maps.
Where the hell do these kids live? Like, they live somewhere where it's a small town where everyone knows each other, but it's also divided by a giant ass lake and creek and all this shit. Out in the woods. This guy, like, I've lived in some pretty crazy locations, and I've lived out on the outskirts of towns, but then again, I haven't lived everywhere. So.
We were going to make maps.
The plan was to make 2 separate maps and then combine them. I mean, we've all done this in Minecraft.
Yep.
We would make one map exploring the area around the creek near his house, and make another following the outflow from my lake. Originally, we were going to make one map, but we realized that wasn't possible since I started drawing the map of my area so huge that the route from his house wouldn't have been to scale. We kept the map from the lake at my house and the map from the creek at his house, and we would add to each when we stayed the night with each other.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, like, props to him. Like, this guy, that's definitely a
Oh,
better way to learn. Props to learning how to navigate.
oh yeah, I was about to say this is definitely before boxes when they moved, but I remember this was before balloons, so it was even further away.
Yeah, no, the timeline is a tad difficult to keep up with,
Yeah.
especially after I'm several bowls in and a full free roll. So, yeah, don't do drugs, kids. It's bad for your brain. For the first couple of weeks, it went really well. We would walk through the woods along the water and pause every couple of minutes to add to the map. And it seemed like the two maps would come together any day. We had no equipment needed for the job, not even a compass. Suddenly, you realize that one guy's been drawing east, the other guy's been drawing west, and they're never going to meet in the middle.
Yep.
But we tried to make do. We had no idea.
But to be fair, this is kids just trying to make up a fun
Yeah,
map.
no, like, again, props to them. I didn't have friends to do stuff like this as a kid.
But how do we remember all this such in detail when he was 5?
Yeah, no, like, props to him on that one. Like, I do not have memories like this.
What
from
is
whenever
that
I was
memory?
5. Like, I get a flash. Typically, someone screaming, and then just blank, and then I'm suddenly a teenager.
Yep.
Like, that's actually a little depressing thing to say. Anyway, not even that, but we tried to make do. We had the idea to impale the earth with a stick when we had reached the end of adventure, so that if we came upon the stick from the other direction the next weekend, we would know we had joined the maps. That's also, a stick's not gonna fall over after a week, I guess. We might have been the world's worst cartographers. Yeah. Eventually, however, the woods became too thick near the water coming from the lake, and we were unable to proceed further.
Wait, I lost where I am. We're going to make maps.
Well, keep up. Read with the class. Make sure you're paying attention.
What the fuck? I lost. Where the fuck? I can't find it. We're going to make maps. What? Is it even further down? We were not something about being the worst cartographer. I can't. What the fuck? After I show my pictures I had taken from school, that's further down. Simply though, completely with sending snow cones. So we kept the night.
Now you're ahead of us.
What? What?
We lost interest in the whole project for a bit. Look for that.
We lost interest in the project for a bit. We built a raft. That's.
Go back a paragraph up. I'm about to start the paragraph.
After I showed my mom the pictures, for a couple of weeks it went really well.
That's about where I'm about to start.
Okay.
You good?
Yep.
You got up?
I think so.
Alright, that's gonna be a mark off your grade. After I showed my mom all the pictures. Shit, hold on.
For the first couple of. This is going really well.
Really well, but then we walked through the woods. We were the worst cartographers. Eventually, however, the woods became too thick, and we were reduced to exploring there, though not clean. When we started selling snow cones. Okay, so this runs into the snow cones.
Oh yeah, now the events of the Penpal thing is happening.
So we're getting a little bit of overlap.
Yeah. Oh there! Oh, I found it. We might have been the worst cartographer. Okay, eventually, however, that's where we begin. Okay.
I'll give this guy some more props for being able to keep such a string of events.
Yeah, that's very impressive.
Yeah, no, I struggle with that. After I showed my mom all the pictures I had taken from the school, and she had took them away.
Okay, calm down a little. Calm down a little. Have some have some inlevelse. What is that? You're reading a little too fast.
After I showed my mom all the pictures I had taken home from school, and she took away my snow cone machine, our interest in maps was revitalized. Our interest in maps revitalized. We had come up with another plan, although I didn't understand why. My mom had placed what I consider to be extremely severe restrictions on what I could do and where I could go. And I had to check in frequently if I could go out, if I went outside to play with Josh. I mean, this might be around the time the Amber Alert system started picking up.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, we just have his age. We don't necessarily have the dates. So
Yeah, that's true.
depending on where you're mentally placing them, you could get this story dramatically changes. Actually.
Yeah.
Time's fun. This meant we couldn't stay in the woods for hours and continue to look for a new path. That we could just swim when we got to the cutoff in the woods, but that clearly wouldn't work since the map would get wet. We tried going faster when we were coming from George's house, but we eventually ran into the same problem. Then we had a brilliant idea. We'd build a raft. I mean, yeah, no.
Okay.
How could this go wrong?
How could this go wrong? Josh drowning, the narrator drowning. Well,
due to the construction in the neighborhood, there was a large amount of scrap building material that the company would set in the ditch to keep it out of the road, off-site since they long.
Oh, the ditch!
And it just continued.
That must have some kind of relevance to the story. That has to come up in the future.
Yeah. We originally conceived of a formidable ship, complete with a mast and anchor, and an anchor. This quickly diminished into something more manageable. Again, 5 years old. We set aside the wood and took several large pieces of styrofoam that were backed with foam board and tied them together with rope and tight.
What is it? They can't be 5 years old. What? What is this engineering?
We launched our vessel a little downwater from Miss Maggie and waved a farewell to her as she motioned us to come back to her.
Come back!
But there was no stopping us.
Come back, John!
The raft worked very well for the first 5 minutes, and while we both behaved and spoke as if the functionality of the raft was a given, I was a little surprised. We each had a fairly long tree branch to use as a paddle, but we found it easier to simply push against the land under the water than actually use them as intended. So they made more of a gondola, I believe is the term.
Mm-hmm. Gondola.
Did I get it right?
Yeah, I think so.
When the water became too deep, we'd simply lie on our stomachs and use our hands to paddle the water, which still worked, albeit less well. The first time we had to resort to that method of propulsion, I remember thinking that from far above, it must have looked like a colossally fat man with tiny arms was out for a swim.
That choice of words is so funny.
Yeah, no. This guy definitely has an interesting way with words.
Yep.
Let me take a quick puff.
By the way, kids, don't do drugs.
Yeah, I just got thinking, mine's not as simple as tucking a little patch under my gums. I actually have to take my... I only had the one roll. It actually took several trips to get the raft to the impassable patch of woods that marked the farthest we had made it. After we had come up with the idea of marking the ground with a stick, we had taken to running through the woods until we got to the stick, and then, as carefully and precisely as we knew how, charting our course. This meant that the impasse was actually quite a bit away, so to sail from around my house all the way to the blockade in the woods was taking longer than expected. We'd sail for a bit and then dock the raft, and then next time we'd run through the woods to the raft and go a little farther.
Okay.
So, yeah, no, they're floating it down, docking it, coming back another day, floating it down, docking it.
Yep. Yeah, these guys is crazy, man.
Yeah, no, this was not something that I don't think I would have been doing at this age.
Oh no, I wouldn't either. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't even do it now.
Yeah, no, you'd be hard pressed to get me my ass at my age.
You're sitting
Hauling
and
ass up and down the woods,
you're
looking up and
paddling your
down.
hands in the water, going and sneaking around as a 5-year-old and doing a map like.
Shit, I'm getting so old that it's hard to get me to go to a weird restaurant. Better my microphone than my soda.
Were you about to drink your microphone?
I bumped it and knocked it over, and for a second I thought I spilt my soda.
We continued.
We continued this well into the first grade. Josh and I were assigned to different groups that year. So, since we didn't really see each other during the school day, our parents were more willing to let us hang out all weekend each week.
Oh.
What's more, Josh's dad had taken on a lengthy construction job that required him to work over the weekends, and his mother was on call. So this meant Josh would stay at my house most every weekend, 4 weeks on end.
Okay.
That sounds like right.
That sounds a real deal.
Yeah, no, like there are people who would kill for that kind of friendship.
Oh yeah, I would too.
I would have been making an excellent progress. We should have been making excellent progress. But when we finally made it to the impasse and had the opportunity to explore past it, we couldn't find a place to dock the raft. The woods were simply too thick, and the water had eroded the land to the point where there were nearly 2-foot rise of earth over the tributary, which I saw you freeze in the corner of my eye. I was making
No, oh no. No.
Which had exposed the twisting and damp roots of the trees above. We'd have to turn back every time and leave the raft at the same thick of trees that prompted us to build it in the first place. Even worse, winter had arrived, so we couldn't justify leaving the house in our swimsuits. We were getting nowhere. We always had to come home before we could gain much ground. I mean,
gain much ground.
Walk along that ice. Like, oh, no.
Yeah, I guess.
Or,
What?
Try some bushwhacking. Like, get yourself some little tots for tiaras, machetes, and just hack your way through.
Oh look, they're coming voice lines.
Have you not read?
Look, voice lines. What?
Have you not read The Hatchet? Or
The Hatchet.
Side of the Mountain?
I think I have read The Hatchet, but it was a long time ago.
It was a school. We read an like a chapter or two from it in a book for not high school, but middle school. So, like, I know a chapter of it, and for some reason, the name of it stuck in my head. But I will make a shout out to the book, My Side of the Mountain. Great book. Kid runs away, digs out a hollow in a tree, lives off the land. It is an excellent one. It even comes with like little diagrams and little survival tips of like making fish hooks out of twigs and stuff. Like it was a great read.
Okay, I'll hold that in mind.
I read it so
You who are watching this, take a look at it.
Yeah, no, I read it so many times as a kid. Should be easy enough to find in most libraries. Like it was old whenever I was young. So. On a Saturday around 7 p.m., Josh and I were playing when one of my mom's coworkers knocked on our door. Her name was Samantha, and I remember her well because I would propose to her a couple of years later.
What? Playfully. I imagine like I imagine a kid going up like, "Oh, will you marry me?" You know.
Part of my brain was going for that one.
Yeah.
Part of my brain was also thinking there might be a sudden time skip, and for some reason she did not age.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an anime character. My mom said that she had to go back to work to fix the problem that had arisen, and that she'd be back in about 2 hours. The car was being repaired, so she'd have to ride with Samantha. But I gathered that the problem was Samantha's fault, and discussing it in the car was why it would only take 2 hours. She said that under no circumstances were we to leave the house or open the door for anyone, and she was in the middle of explaining that she would call every hour when she got there to check in. But she ended the statement prematurely when she remembered that our phone had been turned off for delinquent payments.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense after all these photos and Polaroids of shit of this kid, that she don't want them to run around in the woods.
Yeah, no.
Is this after footsteps?
I think this is in the middle, in between.
In the middle of Balloons and footsteps.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he did have the this is after footsteps, and he mentioned the snow cone, so this would
Yeah.
even be after the second one, whatever that one
Oh
was.
yeah.
I forgot already.
The second one.
So
Balloons.
yeah, balloons.
Balloons. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Continue.
This am I? This was our chance. We watched her drive down the serpentine road toward the exit, and as soon as the car rounded the last visible bend, we ran back to
No,
my
wait,
room.
wait, wait, wait. I think you're about. You got.
Okay.
You were up at like she was in the middle of explaining that it called every hour, blah blah blah. When she remembered our phone had been
Oh,
turned off.
this is why Samantha had just come by, unannounced. She looked me dead in the eyes as she was closing the door and said, "Stay
Stay.
put."
Hey, my lines. Stay put. No, stay put.
There you go. Get that nastiness in it. This was our chance. We watched her drive down the Serpentine Road to the exit, and as soon as the car rounded the last visible bend, we ran back into my room. I dumped my backpack out while Josh grabbed the match.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey. Do you have a flashlight?
Josh chimed.
No, but we'll be back before dark. What? I was thinking. I was thinking just in case. We should have one. My mom has one, but I don't know where she keeps it. Wait.
I ran into my closet and pulled a box down from the top shelf.
You have a flashlight in there?
Josh asked.
Not exactly.
I mean, this is how a lot of kids get a hold of guns and other.
Oh, this is firearm, Josh. We're going to shoot everyone.
I opened the box and revealed 3 Roman candles that I had taken from the pile that my mother had amassed for the 4th of July the past summer, along with a lighter that I had managed to take from her. So you don't have a flashlight, but you do happen to have random fireworks.
Why don't they go looking for the fucking flashlight?
I mean, that is definitely an interesting choice. Roman candle has got to be, of all the choices of a flaming light source, you get like a 30-second pop. Not even a 30-second, you get a 2-second pop. Hey, there's a killer 3 feet away. Pop. Oh shit, he's 2 feet away. Pop. Oh my god, he's in my throat. And that came crazy. We ran through the woods as fast as we could. I need to back up a little bit more. You read not exactly. I opened the box and revealed the Roman candle that will find on the map for the 4th of July, along with a lighter that I had managed to take from her some months before. So this kid's a thief. This would ensure that we at least had some light if we needed it. To be honest, the lighter's probably a better choice than the Roman candles.
Yeah.
This was a little bit before I had been given an opportunity to be afraid of the woods at night.
Oh, so it wasn't. It was before footsteps.
I guess.
Yeah.
So it wasn't fear that motivated our search for a light source, only practicality. We threw it all in the backpack and bolted out the back door, making sure to close it so boxes wouldn't get out.
Boxes.
We had 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Box. Okay.
Okay, let me
Okay,
get
so
my lung a little bit of breath.
so they're going out into the woods.
Yeah.
This will not end happily, I guess.
Yeah, no.
I wonder.
This is definitely.
I wonder who's gonna die now.
Definitely turning into a lot of talking.
Okay.
I don't think I've used my voice this much in months. We ran through the woods as fast as we could and made it to the raft in about 15 minutes. We had our bathing suits on under our clothes, so we stripped off our shirts and shorts and left them in 2 separate piles about 4 feet from the edge of the water. We untied the raft. I mean, you want to have to run home naked? Because this is how you're going to have to run home naked. We untied the raft from the tree, grabbed our branch paddles, and cast off.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to move rapidly to reach a point beyond the contents of our ever-expanding map, as we didn't have time to waste seeing old sights. we knew that we were slower in the raft than on land. What are you doing? Going up against the current? Because, I mean, historically speaking, travel by water has always been faster by foot than by foot.
Yeah, but I guess sitting and paddling with your hands like this, I don't think that will get you away kind of quick.
Fair, but if there's even the slightest current, like the paddling with your hands is more to keep you straight than to keep you to propel you along.
Yeah, sure. But they're also 5-year-olds. I don't think they really realize.
Yeah, they've been. I mean, to be fair, they've been dancing with death this whole time. Like,
Yeah.
Or that's been sticking in the. In fact, they've been leaving this water, this styrofoam and wood thing just soaking in the fucking water this whole time. Like, they're lucky it hasn't just fucking disintegrated by now.
Yeah.
We tried. We'd be lower than on the raft, and that we would be in the raft for quite a while after the cutoff, since the woods were too thick to walk through, and there wasn't a place to dock. This meant we'd have to ride the raft back to the original docking site, even if we found a new place to dock it further ahead. After we passed the last charted part of our map, the water began to get really deep, and eventually we could no longer touch the bottom with our tree branches. So we lay on our stomachs and paddled with our hands. It was getting darker, and as a result, it was becoming harder to distinguish the trees from one another. And we were both becoming slightly unnerved. In the interest of making good time, we were paddling fast with our arms. But this caused a lot of noise as our hands repeatedly confronted and then broke through the water's surface tension. During these periods, we could both hear the crunching of dead leaves and the snapping of fallen sticks in the woods to our right. At a slower pace and quieter actions, the rustling in the woods would cease, and we would begin to wonder if it was really ever there at all. We didn't know what kind of animals resided this far into the woods, but we did know that we didn't wish to find out. I mean, coyotes?
I would love to add one thing to this series we're doing. One other story we have to cover sometime in the future is Ted the Caver, if you haven't read it already.
Oh! Jeff the Killer, Ted the Caver, like... So what is this? Just a random, unassuming name with a random fucking verb?
It's good stories. Jeff the Killer, Ted the Caver. Oh, yeah. Anyways.
As Josh amended the map that I was illuminating with the lighter, we were suddenly confronted with the fact that the sounds were not imagined. Rapidly and rhythmically we heard crunch, snap, crunch. I mean, someone pouring a bowl of Rice Krispies?
Yeah, okay, so this stalker is finally catching up with them. Fine.
For a second there, I thought that was gonna land flat. I didn't know if Rice Krispies had reached across the fucking borders. It seemed to be moving slightly away from us, pushing through the woods, just beyond our map. It had become too dark to see. We had misjudged how long the sun would linger. Nervously, I called out.
Hello?
There was a brief moment of breathless tension as we lay, static in the water. Silence was suddenly broken by laughter.
Hello?
Josh cackled.
So what? Hello, Mr. Monster in the woods. I know you're sneaking around, but maybe you'll answer to my hello. Hello!
I realized how stupid it was. Whatever animal it was, it wouldn't respond. I hadn't even realized I'd said it until afterwards. But if anything was actually there, I obviously wouldn't get a reply. Josh continued.
Hello?
Yeah, high falsetto. Great falsetto, brother.
Hello? Hello?
He countered with as deep a baritone as I could manage.
Hello there, mate.
Alright, now go British.
Hello there, mate. Hello there, mate. Huh?
You got another one after the
Oh, yeah, right. Hello, beep, bop. Hello.
I'm actually something glad that I'm not doing the voices. We continued mocking each other, and we're in the process of turning the raft around to head back when we heard.
Hello. Hello.
I didn't. I think your mic cut out.
Hello. Hello.
I ain't hearing nothing. There you go. Yeah, no, I was just getting a lot of, like, you look like a fish bobbing, gasping. It was whispered and forced as if it were powered by the last breath in a pair of deflating lungs.
Oh.
It didn't sound sickly. Yeah, no. You want to try again with that particular descriptor? It had just come from the spot off the map, which now sat behind us since we had turned the raft around. Slowly lifted the raft and faced the direction, shifted on the raft and faced the direction of the sound as I fumbled with the Roman candle. I wanted to see.
This is kind of funny. Yeah, now the writing style has changed a lot.
I mean, I have mentioned that his writing style is all over the place.
Yeah.
My guess is he suffered from the same thing that I suffer from, and my stuff starts sounding like whatever it is I myself am consuming at the time.
Yeah.
If I'm reading a book, it's going to sound like the book I'm reading. If I'm watching a TV show, it's going to start sounding like that TV show I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
What do you do? What are you doing?
Josh hissed. But I already lit it. As the sparking fuse sunk into the wrapper, I held it toward the sky. So he's trying to use it as a kind of flare, I guess.
I guess.
I mean, if there's ever a way to freak out a whole community in town, is to send random lights out into the sky in the middle of the woods.
Well, still, 5-year-olds, they don't know the consequences of their actions. Most probably.
Yeah, no. I had never actually shot one of these myself, and I thought to just use it like a flare in the movies. A glowing green orb rocketed out towards the stars and then quickly extinguished. Yeah, no, Roman candles don't last that long.
Yeah.
I lowered my arm more towards the horizon. I could remember that there were several colors, but I couldn't remember how many times one of these fired before being depleted. A second ball of red light burst out and fizzled above the trees, but I still saw nothing.
Let's just go, man!
Josh pressed as he turned to face the direction back home and began paddling desperately.
Just one more.
Lowering my arm directly at the woods. That's all. You want to start a fire now? Like Smokey the Bear. Only you can prevent. And this is obviously American. 4th of July,
yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah, definitely American.
You're making me disappointed in my fellow Americans. While at the same time, they are behaving exactly of my fellow Americans here. Lowering my arm directly into the woods in front of me, another red ball of fire was launched from the tube.
Wait, wasn't it green?
It's a multicolor. A Roman candle is multicolored.
Oh yeah.
He repeated the color again, so continuity error, mistaken, forgetting to change the color. Who knows?
Okay.
Before exploding the light in a much greater diameter. It traveled head ahead until it collided with a tree, briefly exploding the light in a much greater diameter. Still nothing. I dropped the firework in the water and watched as one more struggling fireball burst free, only to quickly die, suffocated by the water. Nice little bit of flavor there. As we began paddling in the direction towards my house, we heard a loud and unconcealed rustling in the woods. Breaking of branches.
It's probably Mrs. Maggie.
I mean, I would have laughed if one of the Roman candles caught Mrs. Maggie in the face. The breaking of the branches and the trampling of the fallen leaves overpowered the sound of our splashing. It was running. Mrs. Maggie's a werewolf. In our panic, we jostled the raft too violently and fell and felt one of the ropes under my chest loosen.
Okay. They're going to drown.
got a line.
No, they're going to drown, I said.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I might have skipped ahead.
No, it's okay. Josh!
Yeah, no, you got
Be
it.
careful!
There you go. There you go. But it was too late. Our raft was breaking. Before too long, it was completely falling apart. We each held on to a separate piece of styrofoam. I mean, I called it. I told you it was going to disintegrate eventually. But the pieces weren't big enough to keep us completely afloat. Uh-oh, we got a Jack and... Wait, what was the Titanic names? Was it Jack?
Oh, Jack and Rose.
Whatever. Jack and Rose. I was about to go Jack and Jill, but I'm like, what?
Jack and Jill. Wrong story, bro.
But the pieces weren't big enough to keep us completely afloat, and our legs dangled beneath us in the water.
In the winter water.
The winter water. Yeah, that's chilly.
Josh!
Good thing they're 5. We don't have to worry about shrinkage.
Yeah. Josh, quick!
I yelled as I pointed at the water next to him. He scrambled, but it was too cold to move quickly, and we both watched as the map floated away.
Cold, man.
Josh shuddered dejectedly.
Let's get out of the water.
Yeah, I remember recording that. Getting that fucking cold stutter was a son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I think I ended up giving up and just...
Yeah, you did it. You did it. You did it in the beginning. You did it in the beginning, but you just... fuck it.
I tried so hard, but my microphone would not catch up. It catches up my normal stutter, but whenever I purposely do it, no. It does me the favor of, yeah, no, I'll cut that out, brother. We're not going to embarrass you with that. Asshole. Anyway, where was I? We approached the shore, but each time we attempted to pull ourselves up, we'd hear the frantic rustling thundering towards us from the woods just above. I mean, boar. I don't know. That's not an American thing.
Yeah.
Or no, Texan. I hear they got a bit of a boar problem. Eventually, we were too cold and weak to even try anymore. Steadily, we kicked our legs and found ourselves nearing the dock site. We toppled off the debris and tried to pull it on land, but Josh's piece slipped away and floated in the direction of the lake.
Okay, so all the work on their maps is fucked. Just both maps just gone.
Yeah, no, it's the Minecraft. I died, splat against the mountain, and lost all my stuff.
Oh, don't tell me, bro.
Yeah, those death loops, man, they suck.
Oh, yeah.
Our swimsuits were desperate to get into dry clothes to shield us from the biting chill in the air. I slipped my shorts on, but there was something wrong. I turned to Josh.
Oh, where's my shirt, man?
I mean, I told you if you want to run home naked, you don't you fucking leave your clothes somewhere. I told you. And this one I didn't read ahead. Like, I had a couple of lines, but I know for a fact I did not read this section. He shrugged and suggested, hey,
maybe...
did you get this line?
Yeah, you did. Maybe it got knocked into the water and floated into the lake.
Oh, my bad, bro. I told Josh to go back into my house and say that we were playing hide and seek if my mom was home. I had to try and find my shirt. I ran behind the houses and peered out over the water and scouted along the shoreline. It occurred to me that with any luck, maybe I could find the map too. I was moving pretty fast because I needed to get home. I was about to give up when my concentration was interrupted by a sound coming just from behind me.
Hello?
I whipped around. It was Miss Maggie.
Oh, it was Miss Maggie.
For this time.
This time,
I'd never seen her at night before, and in this poor light, she looked exceedingly frail. The usual warmth that wrapped her manner seemed to have been snuffed out by the chill. I couldn't even remember ever seeing her without a smile, and so her face looked strange.
Oh, hello, Miss Maggie. Yeah, thank you. Oh, hi, Chris.
Warmth and smile returned to her, even if her memories had not.
I couldn't see it was you in the dark.
Jokingly, I asked her if she was going to invite me in for a snack, but she said maybe another time. I was too busy looking for my map, and the shirt to really engage her. But she sounded happy, so I didn't feel bad. She said a couple of other things, but I was too distracted to pay attention. I said goodnight and ran down her driveway toward my house. To be honest, that is a speech pattern I have. I'm always wanting to put an S on the ends of towards. Behind me, I could hear her walking across the frozen yard, but I didn't turn around to wave. I had to get home. I made it home a couple of minutes before my I made it home a couple of minutes before my mom did. By the time she came in, Josh and I had already changed clothes and warmed up. Gotten away with it, even though we'd lost the map.
Couldn't find it? Ah, but I saw Mrs. Maggie. She called me Chris again. I'm telling you, dude. Just be glad you'd never seen her at night. And now he's dead.
We both laughed and asked. We both laughed, and he asked if she invited me in for a snack, joking that the snacks must be terrible since she couldn't even give them away. I told him that she didn't, and was due a surprise. And now that I had time to think about it, so was I. Literally, every time we had seen her, she invited us in for snacks. And here I had, albeit sarcastically, invited myself, and she said no.
Okay. Something's going on with Miss Maggie.
I mean, yeah.
She's on her period.
I mean, if she's got Alzheimer's, I'm pretty sure menopause has come and gone a long time ago. Either that or she is a very fertile old lady, I guess. God damn. I am moving on off of that thought. As Josh talked about this Maggie, I suddenly realized that the lighter might still be in my pocket, and that it would be disastrous for my mom to find it. I grabbed the shorts off the floor and patted my pockets. I felt something, but it wasn't the lighter. My back pocket, I slid out a folded piece of paper, and my heart leapt. The map.
No, that's you.
Oh, that's you. Oh no, that is a thought. The map, I thought. But I watched it float away. As I unfolded the paper, my stomach turned as I tried to understand what I was seeing. Drawn on the paper inside of a large oval were two stick figures holding hands. One was much bigger than the other, but neither had faces. I mean, what stick figure has face?
Yeah, okay. You can draw those two dots in the mouth.
Fair. The paper was torn, so a part of it was missing, and there was a number written near the top corner. It was either a 15 or a 16. I nervously handed Josh the paper and asked him if he had put it in my pocket at some point, but he scoffed at the idea and asked why I was so upset. I pointed toward the smaller stick figure and what was written next to it. It was my initials.
Oh, throwback to footsteps and the note on his pillow.
Yeah. I shook it off and told Josh the rest of the conversation between Mrs. Maggie and I. I had always attributed the odd exchange to her being sick until revisiting the events in my mind all these years later. As I think about it now, the feeling of profound sadness for Miss Maggie returns. It is augmented by a looming feeling of despair when I think about why she said, maybe another time. I knew what she had said, but I didn't understand what it meant that night. I didn't understand what her words had meant weeks later when I watched men in strange orange suits. Biohazards.
Oh, that's a spelling mistake.
Yeah, orange biohazard suits carry what I thought were black bags full of garbage out of her house. Why the whole neighborhood smelled like death that day. Ooh.
Okay.
I still didn't understand why when they condemned the house and boarded it up a little while before we moved. I understand now. I understand why her last words to me were so important, even if neither she nor I realized it. Miss Maggie had told me that night that Tom had come home. But I know now who had really moved in. Just as I now know now why I never saw her body brought out on a stretcher. Bags weren't filled with garbage.
Okay, so by the thought that she had Alzheimer's and that she wouldn't even know if someone else moved in her house or broke in or someone.
Say that, they said that she would mistake someone moving into her house for Tom.
Oh, they did actually.
Yeah, and then and then he said, "Hey, Tom came home, and maybe you can come in another time." And then she's dead.
Damn. Oh, that's crazy, man. All right. You dead?
No, I'm stretching. I never realized how uncomfortable this desk chair was until I sat in it for 3 hours straight.
Well, what did you think of this story then?
It's an improvement. I don't have as much shit to talk. Like, he needs to get there was, a fair share of mistakes, but they're mostly, I noticed that they mostly seem to come towards the end, so I imagine this is, I'm just trying to get this thing out, goddammit.
I'm just trying to get done. Oh.
I've already spent weeks editing this thing. I just want to be done. I can relate to that. I can definitely feel that.
I like that ending though. It was kind of good. It tied together with the beginning.
But also basically it boils down to a dude telling the story about how this old lady basically died and got chopped up next to his house.
Yeah.
And he also is maybe alluding that it was his stalker that did the chopping.
Yeah. Well, at least we are closer to the end now. Only 2 stories left.
Yeah, let me walk around a bit and stretch my legs.
Yeah, I need to get some water. And, well, this recording is also an hour, so just because my OBS won't overheat itself, see you in the next episode, which will be for us in like 1 second, and for you like in 1 week or something. I don't know.